Hi, welcome to the channel, and today we will be discussing about the mechanics of the interest rate swap. At the end of this video, you will be able to learn how an interest rate swap works in real business scenario. There are several different terminologies like fixed rate pair or floating rate pair or gross settlement or net settlement. All of that we will discuss. Together with, we will also discuss about how do you value an interest rate swap. Okay, let us do the deep dive now. Hi, welcome to this channel. I am Virendra here to help you with your studies. If you find this video interesting, do click on the subscribe button and the bell icon. You will be immediately notified whenever I upload a new video. In the previous session, you would have seen that in an interest rate swap, one party pays the fixed interest rate and the other party pays the floating interest rate. Now, if I will plot them in a timeline and I'll make two parties as A and B, then I can say that one party pays fixed. In this case, let me say that A is paying fixed and B is paying floating. And this is a 2-year period. Okay. The party A and B are called counterparties. For A, B is the counterparty, and for B, A is the counterparty. Now, over the 2-year period, they will be agreeing that every 6 months there will be exchange of interest portion. That means A will pay the fixed amount to B and B will pay the floating amount to A. So every 6 months there will be an exchange of cash flows. This exchange can happen in two types, like A can pay the entire interest amount, if it is X, let's say, to B and receive Y amount from B. In this case, the settlement type will be called as gross settlement. The settlement term refers to the payment from one party to another party. Now, in this case, when A is paying the full amount and B is also paying the full amount to each other, that type of settlement will be called as gross settlement. There is another way possibility is that they will come to a conclusion that, okay, instead of two-way payments, they can arrive at X minus Y. If assume that X is greater than Y, or it could be the other way around also, Y could be greater than X, in that case Y minus X. This difference amount they can pay to each other. Let's say if A's payment is more, or say X is greater than Y, so X minus Y, A will be paid to B. And if Y greater than X, then Y minus X will be paid by B to A. So such an arrangement where only the difference amount is getting settled between the two counterparties will be called as net settlement. So where the full amount is getting exchanged between the counterparties, that type of arrangement is called gross settlement, and when only the difference amount is paid by one of the counterparties will be called as net settlement. If you want to know about what are the different pros and cons between the gross settlement and the net settlement, mention in the comment box and I will try to make a separate video on this topic. Now, coming back to our topic, one thing is for sure that A is paying a fixed interest rate and therefore the amount of X is known at each point in time. True? But B is paying the floating rate of interest, therefore B's obligation is not known at each point of in time. So it could be Y1 in first 6 months, it could be Y2 and Y3 and Y4. I am just mentioning here the time frames: 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years. So how to arrive at what B is going to pay in the remaining period of 2 years, right? If I will say divide them into 4 time periods, T1, T2, T3, T4, then probably you will be knowing what is the interest rate for T1, because at that point in time you might have already entered into the first period and you know that what is the will be the interest rate applicable, but for sure you do not know exactly what will be the interest applicable for T2 or T3 or T4. So what you need to do is you need to derive the forward interest rate. These are called forward interest rate. If you do not know how to derive the forward interest rates, you watch another video on this topic I have published, and the link of which I will be giving in the description box. So you go and watch that particular video on the forward rates. Once you know the forward interest rates, then you should be able to calculate the value of Y2, Y3 and Y4. So once you arrive at all the values of Y, then you should be able to figure it out the value between X and Y in each period: Y1, X minus Y2, X minus Y3 and X minus Y4, right? So you know the each period settlement amounts. Now once you find out the settlement amounts at every point in time, then what you have to do is discount that to your present time. So find out the time value of money, right? So if you see that these are all future values, say you can say my FB1, future value 1, future value 2, future value 3 and future value 4. Then you discount the values to the present time and you will get the present value of the swap, or simply it is called the mark to market value. So PV of swap will be equal to the summation of all the discounted values of your future cash flows, FPI, when I starts from 1 to 4. So that will be your present value of your swap. But it is very easier said than done, right? You see that, okay, there are forward rates are coming into picture and so on and so forth, right? To make our life simpler, this entire swap I will split into 2 categories. One way I can look at this is it is a sum of 2 bonds. So A is paying fixed, that means A has issued a fixed coupon bond, and B is paying floating interest rate, that means B has issued the floating coupon bond and A has invested in that floating coupon bond. Look at the mechanics again. A is the fixed rate payer, so A has issued the fixed coupon bond and A is the receiver of the floating interest, so A has invested in a floating coupon bond. For the B, look at the position. B is paying floating coupon, so that means B has issued the floating coupon bond and B is receiving the fixed interest. So B has invested in fixed coupon bond. So the position of B is exactly mirror image of position of A. For A, the value of a swap will be it has invested in floating coupon bond, right? So invested means it is a long position. So in the positive side, I will keep the long position always. So I kept in the positive value of the floating rate bond, and A has issued the fixed coupon bond. So issued means it is the short position, right? or it is the seller, and short positions are taken in the negative side. So I will put a negative symbol and then I will write value of the fixed coupon bond, right? Look at this carefully. So for A, the value of the swap is going to be the value of a floating rate bond minus the value of the fixed coupon bond, right? And for B, as I have told, it is exactly going to be the mirror image of the position of A. So what will be happen? Now for B, it will be exactly opposite. So it will be value of the fixed coupon bond minus the value of the floating coupon bond. All I have to do is value of the, I'll write say fixed, and here I will do floating. Understood? So for B, it will be equal to the negative value of swap for A. If we will add them together, that means the value of the swap for B plus value for A, that will always become 0. This is called zero sum theory. That means whatever gain that the B will get, it will be in the expense of A. Because if 100 million will be the profit, the value for B has to be minus 100 million. We remember this theory. It is always gain for one side, loss for the other side. So till now we have understood how a swap is being valued as the value of sum of two bonds. Now that you have understood that a swap is a combination of two bonds, a fixed rate bond and a floating rate bond, we will go to the second methodology, that is a swap can also be treated as a series of forward rate agreements. What is a forward rate agreement and what is the valuation methodology for the forward rate agreement? If you do not know, please mention in the comment box and I will also try to create a video on forward rate agreement. For this session, the simple definition for forward rate agreement is that you will be determining the interest rate which will be applicable in the future, and you are actually determining that interest rate today. So in this case, you are determining the interest rate for period 2 to T3 and T4 and including also T1, because you have to figure it out the payment amounts for the B, right? That is Y1, Y2, Y3 and Y4 at different points in time, right? Because only when you figure it out what is the obligation of a B, then only you will be able to figure it out what is the difference amount that is going to be settled at each point in time, right? Recall that we have mentioned that X minus Y1, X minus Y2, X minus Y3 and X minus Y4. These are the settlement amounts at each point in time, right? So you have to know what is the value of Y1, Y2, Y3 and Y4 for sure, right? And these Y values of Y can only be determined if you know the interest rate that will be applicable at the time of T2, T3 and T4. And this is nothing but a series of forward rate agreements are combined together to give a swap. Hopefully you have understood both the methods, how a swap is being treated as a combination of a floating rate bond and a fixed rate bond, and a series of forward rate agreements. If you have liked this video, click on the like and the subscribe button, because that is the only way through which I will be coming to know that you like the video, and put your comments as well, because that is the feedback that I can get, so that will help me to prepare for the next series of videos. So do like and do click on the subscribe button and watch for the next videos. Thank you very much for today, and see you soon